We come to the chapter 5 of Shripad Shrivallabh Charitramrita. Now, Shankar Bhatt reaches Tirupati and he meets Tirumaldas in Kaanipak. This is what the chapter 5 is about. As per Parni Swami's guidance, Shankar Bhatt reached Tirupati and meditated in the temple courtyard. In his meditative state, he envisioned Sri Venkateshwara in the form of a lady, then Tripura Sundari in a child form, thirdly in the form of Parameshwar, that is Shiva, and finally as Mahavishnu. The deity then appeared as a 14-year-old yogi. To this young yogi, Shanishwar Maharaj, Saturn, informed that Shankar Bhatt would have his 7.5-year period of Saturn ruling on him. Lord Shripad said to Shanishwar, "You follow the rules of nature and righteousness. I will protect my devotee from your influence. Just wait and watch." Once, as Shankar Bhatt was walking on the streets of Tirupati, a barber approached him and identified him, that is Shankar Bhatt, as Subbayya. He then took him to Subbayya's house and left. Amazed at this, Shankar Bhatt pleaded to all present there that he was a Kannada Brahmin named Shankar Bhatt. But no one would believe him. In fact, some of them suggested that exorcism be tried on him as he was possessed by an evil spirit. Shankar Bhatt prayed to Lord Shripada to give him the courage to overcome the torture that was to come. He was whipped by a mantrik, that is, the exorcist, but kept on a vegetarian diet as the mantrik had informed everyone that a Brahmin spirit had possessed Shankar Bhatt. What was amazing was that the mantrik was turning feebler day by day. The 5th day his house was burnt to ashes. It was then that Subbayya's wife was convinced that Shankar Bhatt was not Subbayya, as he had not even touched her in those days. Meanwhile, Shankar Bhatt kept chanting Lord Shripada's name. One day, a foreteller happened to come to his house. He was in fact a palm leaf reader, that is a Nadi Granthi or a Ramal Shastra. On the basis of his reading, he declared that Shankar Bhatt was not Subbayya and that his wife was so innocent and chaste that she would have the power to bring back her husband from wherever he was. Accordingly, to everyone's surprise, Subbayya returned home the next day. In this way, Shankar Bhatt's 7.5-year period of Saturn influence, that is Shani Dasha, ended in just 7.5 days. Shankar Bhatt then travelled to Kaanipak village in Chittur. The priest in the Varada Vinayak temple advised him to go to a washerman named Tirumaldas with prasad, that is a holy offering, accompanied by 4 dogs. Tirumaldas was a 70-year-old washerman. After consuming the prasad, he told Shankar Bhatt, "You can start writing the biography of Shripad Shrivallabh today itself. In one of my previous births, I was a very learned Vedic scholar. Unfortunately, on my deathbed, I kept glaring at a very soiled cloth, and so I am now born as a washerman. I was then born in Malladi village. There were 2 great families there. One, Malladi Bapanavdhani Haridas Gotri Mahapandit, and the other Malladi Sridhar Avdhani Kaushika Gotri Mahapandit. These 2 great pandits were present at a sacrificial ritual of Lord Ganesh at Ainvili village for Lord Ganesh Mahayag. When the last offering was to be made to the holy fire, Lord Ganesh appeared before them in a golden form and himself accepted the final offering in his trunk. He blessed them, saying that he would incarnate as Shripad Shrivallabh on Ganesh Chaturthi. When the sacrificial offerings were completed, 3 atheists commented that the appearance of Lord Ganesh was illusionary and that to prove it was not so, they should again get the same vision. Hearing this, the energy of the sacrificial altar manifested in the form of a human and addressed the 3 fools. "All celestial beings pray to me to be blessed. I am so powerful to an extent that I possess evil powers too. I remove obstacles and also create them. The merging of Vishnu, Shiva and Brahma is also Dattatreya and will always remain a trinity. Lord Ganesh will incarnate on Ganesh Chaturthi as Shripad Shrivallabh. The meaning of the term or the mantra Shri Ganesh Datta Gurubhyo Namaha will now be clear to all the listeners. This incarnation will not be the result of the physical union of the mother and father. The human manifestation will be due to a divine light. This curse of Lord Ganpati resulted in the three Athis being born as blind, mute, and deaf brothers. They started farming on a 1-acre land in Kaanipak. They irrigated their farms with the help of a water wheel. But one day, the water supply stopped. So the three started digging the ground for water. Suddenly, they struck upon a rock underneath and blood spurted out. This blood did wonders for the three brothers. The blood touched the mute brother and suddenly he started speaking. The groundwater touched the deaf and he could hear. The blind one touched the rock which spurted the blood and he gained sight. The stone idol of self-evolved Varasiddhi Vinayak was then removed out. It was then consecrated by Bapan Avadhani and Sridhar Avadhani, and the time of incarnation of Shripad Shrivallabh was nearing, so the name Sridhar changed to Shripad. Thus this became the surname to be followed in future. Chapter 5 concludes here. The benefits of this chapter are that one can overcome obstacles in one's life. Also, if one is displeased any divine or celestial being, he can relieve himself from the curse. May Lord Shripad bless us all. Shripad Rajam Sharanam Prapadhe.